Hey everyone, long time no English video, I know, but the back to school season got me thinking, wow, it's been pretty much 2 years exactly since I graduated from Yonsei GSIS, and a lot's happened since then. One of the big things is that I've moved, gotten a job, and it made me realize that I've had so many conversations with people who are wondering what are they going to do with their Korean studies degree or Asian studies, global studies, these very specific degrees. So I thought I'd make this video and talk about what's happened with my life and some of my classmates' lives. So for me, I do research basically. I'm lucky enough to use some of my Korean skills, both area knowledge, cultural knowledge, and a little bit of language. My friends, wow, some of them have continued their education. I know there are people that are working on their PhDs, one friend in particular, she's gone to law school. Several people working at national historical institutions in the States. I know a friend at UNICEF, she's doing pretty well. And several people who have stayed in Korea. Overall, there's quite a few careers that you can go into with these skills. I did Korean studies, some of my classmates did international relations, so I don't think it holds you back too much. You just have to be a little flexible with what you're interested in. I know in Virginia, there's a ton of research institutions. I mean, come on up to DC, you'll see like the Korean Economic Institute and a lot of these big think tank like things, and there's of course government jobs probably in there as well. So there are jobs out there, and you don't have to listen to people saying, oh, you'll never find a job with your major in Asian studies or your master's in Korean studies. So what would I change? Now, I want to be fair, not everything is sunshine and flowers. There are a few things that I would change about myself and how I was a student at Yonsei, and some of the things about Yonsei itself. So for me, I wish I would have taken more advantage of some of the internship opportunities, because I just kind of worked to earn money. I worked at the international office for, a year and a half, 2 years almost, which was great for me because I could stay in the loop, I could work on campus, the pay was pretty decent for, part-time work. But those friends who had internship opportunities in Korea, I think they had an easier time finding a job in Korea itself. That's not something I ultimately ended up doing, obviously, but if you're interested in working in Korea, definitely network, do internship or volunteer opportunities in Korea itself. That will go a long way. What else? I think I would have pushed myself harder to take the TOPIK exam. There was never the need to for me, so I never really did it. I went through the 4th level of Korean language. I had done levels 1 and 2 during a study abroad and a summer semester at Korean Language Institute, and then 3 and 4 as a graduate student. I could have pushed myself further and done 5 and 6, but I'll be honest, it was a late night class and I wasn't a fan of the particular way the class was taught. It was not as structured, which I prefer structured classes myself. That being said, I don't think you should limit yourself just to the classes offered at Yonsei. There are some amazing and very affordable courses offered through Sogang, which we like to say you can tell who's gone to Yonsei because they have really, really good grammar and academic skills. But if you have people going to Sogang, they speak Korean so well, and their communication ability, I think, is a lot better than typical students from the Yonsei KLI school. Both really good schools, both with their pros and cons. So several of my classmates did that, and I wish I had done that myself, just because it would have been worth it. So if the schedule's not really the way it's going to work out for you, or you don't like the way the class is taught at Yonsei, definitely think about going to the Sogang classes. They're amazing, highly recommended. That moves me on to a few things I would change about Yonsei GSIS itself. I found that the grading structure was a little tricky. You're on a curve for quite a few classes, which it makes it hard to get scholarships, it makes it hard to get really good GPAs, and it encourages competition between students. Of course, this is information from 2015, and they might have updated their grading scale by now. So, hey, there you go. Another thing, think about your thesis early if you want to do a thesis. Planning your research project takes some time, and the faculty members can only take on so many students for advising their thesis. And if you don't get the faculty member you want early, you might not be able to do a thesis. So I wish Yonsei would take a look at that, or maybe they have. So again, fingers crossed for current and future students. Those are the 2 big ones that I really wanted to point out to people. But another thing is, if you're going to go abroad for your future career, and we're pretty much talking about the States here because obviously I haven't worked in any other country, is foreign education and accreditation. Some employers say all foreign education must be accredited somehow. Well, you look on the Department of Education website in the States, and your prospective employer can look at your resume and say, hey, that's accredited, that's good. Your prospective university or school can also do the same thing, and I believe state licensing boards for certain professions can also look at your foreign education. However, some employers may ask you to get your foreign education accredited by a third-party company. They might recommend a few, and this can cost a couple $100. So if that's something that you're thinking might be necessary for you, make sure you get English language copies of your transcripts, of your class schedule, and everything like that. I did not have to do that for my particular employer, which is really nice because, hey, it's a little bit of money up front to get yourself some accreditation. I do know at Yonsei University it is very convenient. It was the engineering building. You kind of go around a corner and you'll find directions for this online, and there are these machines where you can print out your transcripts, your scholarship confirmation, your graduation confirmation, on all of that official letterhead with seals in both English and Korean. It's a few bucks. It's really worth getting a bunch of extra copies. I think I got like 4 or 5 copies of each thing just to bring over to the States, because once you leave Korea, it's a little tricky getting those. So for people graduating soon, definitely make sure you get quite a few copies of that stuff. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you guys have any questions or just want to make some comments or know any additional information, put it down below, or I'll see you guys next video. Bye.